It's one thing if you lose a game in conference, it's a whole nother deal when you bounce back and win the following week, but yet you still struggle. Especially, it's a whole nother deal if it's Jalen Milroe in Alabama. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media. Going to do some film review today, but before we get into the video, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. We do college football content here on the channel. Really appreciate all of you for tuning in today. And let's go ahead and get into today's video. South Carolina dominated the game for the most part. Alabama pulls away in the fourth quarter, 27-25, to get a victory. 5-1 is what the Tide advanced to on the year, still ranked number 7 right now. South Carolina 3-3 on the year, taking their third loss of the season, 1-3 in conference play. Looking like a pretty good team, probably going to make a bowl game and a push for, well, a bowl game, but they got a interesting schedule ahead. We won't get into it today. We could probably talk about it some other day, but we got to get into some of these highlights as Jalen Milroe had 2 rushing touchdowns. He had 1 passing. He did throw in this game 2 interceptions. What's going on with Jalen Milroe? I don't know if it's him or if South Carolina's defense just got the better of him. Maybe he just had another bad game. But either way, I still think he's our quarterback. I still think he's what's best for the Tide. Surely Alabama fans feel the same way. They actually are dissing the coordinators. No comment, but I don't blame you. Let's get into these highlights. Play here to start out for the Crimson Tide. Obviously, getting a 4th-and-1 conversion. And what we're going to see here is actually them kind of pushing the pile a little bit of a tush push. Well, not exactly, but they kind of fake it with Milroe. The pile of offensive linemen are going to push forward, and that's going to distract the defense a little bit. Milroe actually backs up on this play, and we see him end up finding a way to get free to get that first down. Notice here, he just kind of scampers up for the first down. Everyone wants to talk about Ryan Williams. I understand that. No one's talking about Jeremy Bernard and what he brings to the table for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Watch this play here. Milroe takes the snap and immediately stands good in the pocket. Throws a pretty good dart to Bernard. He finds an open hole here. You see with these 2 defenders, he has to run through them. Kind of makes a man miss there. He backs up, and then it's just first down and then some for him. He kind of got tripped up a little bit there, but he kept his balance. And then finally someone's able to take him out of bounds. So this next play here, we're going to see a touchdown run by Milroe. Watch his eyes. Watch everyone kind of move a little bit to the left. If you notice the line for Milroe, it kind of does move left because they think that he's going to hand it off. I believe that's just his hands right there. I can't tell if it's him or Jam Miller, but he's going to try to hand it off to the running back, but it's going to end up being a keeper for a quarterback draw up to the right side. But everyone kind of pushes this way, pushes left. You watch the O-line push the defense a little bit. There are guys that could have made the tackle on Milroe, but no one had the answer. He was too fast, plus a small key block there from Robbie Utes. Number 45 helped Jalen Milroe get in the end zone. Do the dance, buddy. Do the dance. So this next play here on a 4th-and-9, South Carolina wants to go for it. It's almost halftime. Lenore Sellers is going to back up. Look at the accuracy here. Busted coverage by Alabama. Not sure who that number 12 is, but also Malachi Moore was in on there. Bennett makes the touchdown. Mazio Bennett, 36 yards. And that puts South Carolina on the board. You kind of see a streak, and it's going to move some guys. But Mazio Bennett is the guy that ends up catching the football. But I want you to notice they drew the lines up on ESPN. This guy at the top around the 20-yard line is the key target that Malachi Moore in the back here. I believe that's Malachi Moore. I can't really see the number, but either way, the defender is going to see this receiver thinking that's the go-to man. But you have this guy run a cross route and go up near the 22. See him right there in white? That's your go-to target. Sellers has all day to throw, and Alabama lets a man behind him. Just great execution on offense. Poor decision-making, I think, defensively, not to cover everybody. But you credit South Carolina with that key play. Let's watch it just one more time for Mazio Bennett. He said, "Well, quiet the crowd." Alabama goes 3 and out. South Carolina gets it back. Watch this play here. Pressure on the quarterback on Sellers. He spins around. I don't remember if this was actually called a fumble or not, but it was recovered by Alabama. As the ball came out, Jahad Campbell kind of got pressure there. You'll kind of watch on this replay here. It is a fumble recovery given to Alabama. He just kind of loses his footing there. I think he was trying to throw it, but I think it might have got knocked free there as well. He's taken down Deontay Lawson. 3rd and goal here for South Carolina. 6:26 to go. The clock kind of rolling a little bit. You notice on the sky cam here, I want you to notice they pretty much stack it for Alabama. They got 1, 2, 3, 4. They got about 8 guys on that line, and they dropped 3. I don't know what kind of coverage this is necessarily, but it didn't really work out as planned for the Crimson Tide here, as South Carolina is going to end up scoring. Everyone shifts, and Alabama just kind of drags them into the end zone. But credit to that playmaker there for South Carolina, Raheem Sanders. I guess that was Raheem Sanders, number 5. I thought it said number 6. I thought it was someone else, but it is Sanders, and he takes it in for South Carolina. Credit to Raheem Sanders for getting that for the Gamecocks. Continue just kind of watching film here, just going to let it roll. They get it to Justice Haynes on a small wheel route, and he's able to move the sticks and pick up the first down as the third quarter winds down. You get to the start of the fourth. Milroe, pressure in his face, scampers, and kind of gets across there for the first down. So on this next play here, it's going to be a pick off by South Carolina. Jalen Milroe throwing an interception here. It's really good coverage defensively. Almost had number 5, Jeremy Bernard, in on it. That or number 6, Kobe Prentice. I couldn't really tell. But South Carolina able to pick off Jalen Milroe here. One of his 2 interceptions in this game. Really good design for the South Carolina defense when you really look into it. O'Donnell Fortune, he did, end up being a touchback, but Jalen Milroe misread it badly. Pressure in his face. I know he's got to get rid of it, but he doesn't see the defender coming around in front of Bernard. It was double coverage. We don't see at first when Milroe lets it go if anyone was actually there. But when the camera cuts to the end zone, you see Jeremy Bernard, and then you see 2 defenders. So Jalen Milroe on this play, I think personally, has to do a better job of looking around that area of where he wants to throw the football. I understand that he could have had a touchdown there, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but he didn't. And this was just bad judgment. Because you see here, Fortune, number 3 for Carolina, comes into the end zone to make the play. And again, in coverage there for South Carolina on defense. Originally, that was number 4 on their defense, Vakari Swan. He was a freshman from Carrollton, Georgia. So they play defensively for South Carolina. Give them credit. But ultimately, mistake on Jalen Milroe's part. We'll watch this play one more time. He just throws it up, and it's picked off. I don't know who I would compare that pick to, but it makes me think back to that 44-16 Clemson game when Tua overthrew Jerry Jeudy, and then I think it was A.J. Terrell or whoever, or Trayvon Mullen ended up picking him off. Jalen Milroe is going to get picked off on that play. Here's the next possession with South Carolina having the ball. Obviously, a penalty flag down. Poorly handles the snap. Lenora Sellers, he can't control the ball, and it ends up getting picked up by Alabama. Alabama defense gets a takeaway, tried to get a handoff, then he tried to handle it himself, Lenora Sellers did, and then ultimately Alabama picks it up and recovers the fumble. Jalen Milroe next play, throws, got it complete, first down to Ryan Williams. Milroe going to keep it himself, going to run it into the end zone again. He ran it earlier. Good play here. Kind of notice on this play, just he keeps his eyes downfield. He kind of runs a little bit of an option run for the quarterback draw, going up to the top of the screen, going to his right. He's got 2 or 3 different guys that could have made the tackle. 72 makes a really good block. 45, I believe, is still Robbie Utes. I think we still have him. So he makes a key block as a tight end. And then big 77 also. He does get tripped up, but he does cross the goal line for a score. That being said, that's going to do it for our film review today. 27-25, Alabama wins a thriller and a classic in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Let me know what you guys thought about some of this film. Did you watch this game live like I did? I know I didn't go live for it, but I still watched it a little bit. And it seems like Alabama got some things figured out after a Vanderbilt loss. They got their defense figured out for sure. Just some miscommunication and everything. I feel like this should have been one of the games where you bounce back, get a little angry, and you bounce back in a big way, not playing it too close. But they did play it close, 27-25. So what's next for South Carolina and the Crimson Tide? Well, South Carolina goes to Oklahoma this Saturday, 11:45 Central Time in the morning, kickoff on SEC Network. Alabama with a 2:30 Central kick in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium for the third Saturday in October rivalry game. Looking forward to it. We'll go live on Saturday for some of these games on October 19th. We're doing our marathon. Hope you guys can tune in for it. Other than that, that's all I got for you. God bless you all. Jesus loves you. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media, checking out. I love y'all. Peace. Be safe.